Hello, and welcome to Annandale High School, Future Adams. My name is Mr. Vitelli. I'm a counselor here at Annandale High School, and this presentation is for our rising ninth graders, students that are going to be joining us next year, to give them information on how to pick classes and be prepared for high school in general. So that's what we're going to do today, and we're going to go through these slides to help you with this information. Right off the top, just so you know, all of this information and the slides will be available on the Annandale High School website under Student Services and Academic Advising. So today's objectives, we're going to discuss differences between middle and high school, discuss graduation requirements and what you're planning for while you pick your classes, and then some information on how to prepare for your upcoming course selections. Okay, so let's just start with some basics, the difference between high school and middle school. So it's much bigger, first of all, probably, but there's just some differences in how the classes are run too. So as you're picking your classes and as you're thinking ahead, remember that material is covered faster in high school. There's more work. If you've been able to get away with not doing homework in middle school, that's probably not going to be the case in high school. So you're going to need to have good study habits. Teachers expect you to be more independent and be more responsible for your own work. So with that in mind, not only do you want to keep up with your own work, but you'll want to ask for help when you need it. Let people know what you could use some assistance with, and teachers would be happy to help you. Also, attendance matters because you need to be here to keep up with the work that's going to be going on and moving fairly quickly compared to middle school. Also, another big thing about high school is, along with that independence, is there's a lot more opportunities for things to do. You have choices in the classes. You have opportunities for clubs, activities, sports, events. So you will be able to, again, find this information on the Annandale website. We have all of that there for you. The website's there at the bottom. Even though my video is blocking that link, you'll get that you can on the shared slides. Okay, so graduation. Seems like it's very far away, and it is probably 4 or 5 years away, depending on when you're seeing this. But really, everything you do by picking your classes for ninth grade starts to build the foundation of what you'll need to do to graduate. So I want to give you a little overview of what that means. The graduation requirements, there's 2 different diploma types, standard diploma and advanced diploma. Those are what are offered here in Fairfax County. There's also, because we're an IB school, that's the International Baccalaureate, there's an IB diploma that you can work towards. So there's class requirements for each of those, and then there's also SOL requirements. SOLs, you'll need to pass 1 SOL for each major subject area, math, science, history, and English. But English, there's 2 tests that you'll take during 11th grade. But you only have to pass 1 of each. And once you're done, you'll be done for the rest of high school. So what you need to graduate, the biggest overview is you're going to need 4 years of English. Everybody needs that. 3 years of social studies, math, and science for a standard diploma, and 4 years of each for the advanced diploma. Everybody's going to need 2 years of health and PE. Everybody needs to complete economics and personal finance. And then there's certain elective requirements. And if you're doing the advanced diploma, you'll need 3 years of a world language, or 2 years of one world language and 2 years of a second world language. Okay, so other things to know about high school versus middle school. You must pass your classes to move on to the next grade level, and you must pass the SOLs to graduate, like I mentioned. To be promoted from 9th grade to 10th grade, you need to pass 5 classes. To play sports, you also need to pass 5 classes in the previous semester. So these are incentives for why to take it seriously with your classes from the very start at the beginning of 9th grade. Also, some of you are taking classes in 8th grade that will count towards high school credit. If it's algebra, geometry, or a world language, those classes can be used for high school credit, and they will appear on your high school transcript. If you are not pleased with your grade in those classes, you can have those expunged at the end of the year. So this is just a note for that, because those grades will count towards your GPA. There's still time to improve your grades if you're doing poorly now, but you will be able to expunge those grades at the end of the year. Okay, so getting down to picking some classes, let's talk about some strategy. Consider your current grades. Consider your work habits. So talking about whether you want to take regular classes or honors classes, know that there's more work involved in the honors classes. There's more expected of you. If you're currently in honors classes, then you may have an idea of how much that means. But think about how you're doing right now in those classes, where you are with your work habits right now, and if you're going to have other commitments like sports, activities, home responsibilities, even a job. Because all of those grades will count. We don't want to overload you, but we also want everybody to be taking challenging enough classes for where they're at. So this is a choice you'll be able to make with the help of your parents and your current teachers and counselors. Let's look at what a typical 9th grade schedule looks like. Okay, there's 7 classes. Because you'll be taking health and PE, then there's potentially 2 other slots open. If you're taking a world language, then you have 1 other elective spot. And there you see what a regular class day looks like at Annandale. So be aware, though, of those 7 classes. If you are currently struggling in a class or have failed SOLs in a subject area, you may be asked to take a support class. That may be a double block English or math class, so that you have enough preparation to succeed in those subjects. But that would take away the spot for an elective class. So something to think about when you're planning out next year's schedule. Okay, so let's talk about selecting actual courses. So this is the real options you're going to have. Here is the link and a QR code if you want to grab that, or you can check this on the slides later that you'll have access to for all of the information we're going to have on Annandale's website about information for classes. That means the whole course catalog. There's videos describing each classes from different elective and core class teachers, and the course selection Google form that you can fill out on your own or with your counselor. There was also going to be a virtual course registration info night and a Rising 9th grade open house coming up. So this is just what it looks like when you go to the website, what the course catalog looks like, and longer descriptions of each class, so you have some more information to choose and be better informed. So how to choose your core classes: math, English, science, and social studies. Generally, the difference is going to be between honors and standard classes. What to consider when you're making that decision: your teachers are going to make a recommendation for what they think you should take. Your work and study habits, like I mentioned, know how seriously you're going to be willing to take those classes and take responsibility for what's required. That means looking at where you're at right now, looking at your strengths and interests. When you're picking an honors class, remember that you're most likely to succeed in a class that you feel stronger in or that you're more interested in. And then that honors courses are more rigorous than standard classes. So look for that balance of what you want to take on and what's the right amount of challenge for you. So the choices for some of the core classes: English, it's just going to be between English 9 and English 9 honors. For social studies, Everybody will take World History 2, either World History 2 or World History 2 honors. For science, there may be other choices: environmental science, biology, or biology honors. Environmental science is a class for students that may not be ready yet to take biology and prepare them better for that class. For that especially, but all of them, you will be able to talk to your teachers about what they recommend and where you may take next year. For math is going to be determined a lot based on where you're at right now. So if you're in Math 8, you will take Algebra 1 or Algebra 1 Plus, which is a double block math class. If you've struggled in math or need a little extra time, then you would have a double block math class. If you're currently in Algebra 1, you'll either go into Geometry Plus, which again is a double block class, or Geometry Honors. And if your grade currently in Algebra 1 is not good, or you're really struggling this year, you may be asked to retake algebra next year. If you're in Geometry or in Geometry Honors, next year you'll take Algebra 2 or Algebra 2 Honors. So elective choices. There's a lot of things to choose from. Our business and information tech classes include accounting, computer science foundations, programming, cybersecurity, digital applications, and information systems. Family and consumer science classes that are available to 9th graders include life planning, nutrition and wellness, and introduction to culinary arts. Culinary arts is one of the classes that will be available, as there'll be some other electives where you'll have more choices as you go on through 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. Marketing, you can take marketing. Engineering and trades, you can take auto tech, electronics, and STEM design. In the PE department, you can take sports medicine. English and social studies electives include African American history, creative writing, journalism, which is the school newspaper, the A-Blast, and photojournalism, which is a class we're working on the yearbook. In the performing and visual arts, there's band, chorus, and orchestra, all of which have different levels, and there will be auditions to determine which level of band to go into, but you can just choose on your course form, band, chorus, or orchestra. There's also Guitar 1. There's no extra preparation needed for that class. You can go in with no knowledge. Theater arts. There's theater and tech theater. So theater arts is in front of the stage performing. Tech theater is backstage, lighting, set design, costume design, set design. For art, there's studio art, digital art and design, photography, and there's 3D art. Okay, and then languages. At Annandale, we offer Arabic, French, and Spanish. And if you're currently already fluent in Spanish, there's Spanish for fluent speakers. A note here, if you have a D or below in a language this year, you'll be asked to repeat that class in 9th grade, so you have a solid foundation for moving on in a world language class. If you repeat a class, again, you'll have the opportunity to expunge that from your transcript, so you do not have a lower grade impacting your GPA. Bottom line, when you go through these options, I know I went through it pretty quick, but do some research. Be thoughtful about your choices. Talk with your parents, your teachers, and your counselor, and submit your course selection form by the deadline. That's how we're going to use to enter those grades. So we want to make sure that it's been reviewed and discussed with you, your parents, and your teachers. The choice is yours, but we want to make sure that there is you have an informed opinion about that decision. And right now we're saying that we want you to take time to make those decisions, because there will be limits to what you can change as far as the course selection goes after the end of March. So here's a link for the 9th grade course selection form. Again, if you want the actual link, you could see the slides, but the QR code there will just take you to that form. It is a Google form. You'll log in with your school Google account. You can only submit the form once, so be careful about what you choose. And I'll leave that there for a second. Okay, so that's about it. This is a list of the counselors. I'm Mr. Vitelli again. I have the end of the alphabet. This is my office. And if you're going to be my student, I encourage you to come visit me whenever you're here. I think all the other counselors will feel the same way. You can see who those would be. And if you want to contact them while you're doing some research, please feel free to do so. And that's it. We have information available. We'll put up on our student services social media accounts. But I hope you can get all the information you need and attend the open house or information nights. Reach out if you have any questions. We look forward to having you here. Thanks.